I Hear America Singing by Walt Whitman.
I hear America singing, the varied carols I hear. Those of mechanics, each one singing his as he should be, blithe and strong. The carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam. The mason singing his as he makes ready for work or leaves of work. The boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat. The deck hand singing on the steamboat deck. The shoemaker singing as he sits on his bench. The hatter singing as he stands. The woodcutter's song, the ploughboy on his way in the morning, or at the noon intermission, or at sundown. The delicious singing of the mother, or of the young wife at work, or of the girl sewing or washing. Each singing what belongs to him or her, and to no one else. The day what belongs to the day. At night, the body of young fellows, robust and friendly. Singing with open mouth the strong melodious songs. Down to the very basics, the poem is about a person who hears different Americans with different professions singing their song. The poem is seen from a first-person omniscient narrator who is very positive about the world around him. The poem takes place in America in 1867, right after the Civil War took its end. The thing that we hear all different kinds of Americans singing implicates that we have a nation in peace and happiness. When thinking of all the struggle they've just been through. The war is now over and everyone's singing. Each singing what belongs to him or her and to no one else, it says in the poem. No one sings the same song, each and every person tells their own individual story. All the words used in the poem are very positive and happy, and we immediately get the impression that something good is just taking place. You also notice that there's no implication of races in the poem, because the barrier between black and white men have been torn asunder all of a sudden. Thanks to the 13th, 14th and 15th Amendment, slavery is now outlawed, citizenship is guaranteed for all people who is born and naturalized in the United States, and the black men are allowed to vote.
The years up to the poem, the American Civil War had just ended. The Civil War was from 1861 to 1865. Even though the Civil War was over, America was marked from the war a long time afterwards, all over the country. The development of the railroad, telephone and telegraph and electronic networks helped the homesteaders and prosperous to travel over America in search of gold or other useful minerals. The industrialism also came to America, and because of the well-developed railroad, the western part of the country was able to develop just as fast and well as the eastern side of the country.
Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is the author of the poem I Hear America Singing. Walt Whitman is known as the most famous American poet. He was born in West Hills, town of Huntington, Long Island, on May 31st, 1819, and died in 1892. He lived with his parents and 9 siblings, where he was the second. When Whitman was 4, he moved with his family from West Hills to Brooklyn. Here they lived in several homes because of the not quite good economic status. Walt Whitman wouldn't describe his childhood as happy, more like restless. When Whitman was 11, he concluded primary school, and the following summer he began to work to earn money for his family. The family moved back to West Hills, where his interest for performance started. He published his first poem anonymously here. In 1841, he moved to New York, where he got employed at several different newspapers. In 1862, he moved to Washington, D.C. and swore not to move back to New York. While he lived in New York, the American Civil War was on. With a little help from his friend, he got a job as a nurse, where his intention was to write about the great army of the sick, which he ended up publishing in a newspaper. Afterwards, he published several collections of poems. He was fired at his job in 1865, but soon people began to like his way of writing. He wrote irregular and free-minded compared to the European way of doing it.
The end.